these podcasts are gonna give me a heart attack because I get super emotional with the stories that I do. I honestly do. Like, I'm talking to the schools and I have like goosebumps all over my body, especially when there's schools like yours that have a legacy, that have been doing the work, that have been changing lives continuously. People who really love what they do, including you, not only the students that come, students like you that came back and decided to continue working at the school. Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Class Act, the Career School podcast. This podcast is here to amplify the voices of people who work in the career school field and who constantly work towards changing the lives of those who need their lives changed most. I am super glad because today I have a really nice episode for you guys. Today I have Chelsea Claus with me. She is with Capital Beauty School, and actually this school is really interesting. It's in Omaha, Nebraska, but it has been going for around 100 years. So I am dying to know and dying to show you guys how is it that this school has been doing exactly that, changing lives for so long. Hi, Chelsea. Thank you for coming today.
Hi, Atta. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
I think I'm more excited. I loved it when we had this call, when we talked before. When you told me that this school has been going on for about a century, I was shocked because, you would think that career schools were not around for that long. But actually, this is the first school that I get to interview, get to work with that has been running for so long. Can you tell me a little bit about the school and
Yeah.
about those 100 years?
Right. Oh, goodness. I hope we have a few weeks. No, just kidding. Yeah, so Capital Beauty School located in Omaha, Nebraska. We actually opened in 1923. So we've been around over 100 years now, which we love. We've spent a lot of time, obviously, continuously advancing the curriculums, and we offer both cosmetology and aesthetics. We were actually the first school in the Midwest to offer aesthetics. So we were the first hair school to also add on aesthetics as an additional opportunity. And so we are proud of that and have now we're booked out until 2027 for aesthetics. So we've spent a lot of good time and effort just really advancing that program as well as cosmetology. But yeah.
That sounds really amazing. You guys are really pioneers. Really.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing. I think it's great that you guys came on to tell your story because it's not very often that you come across a school with such a legacy, really. And Capital Beauty School attracts students of all different stages of life. We did talk about that in our call before, but some just are beginning, I know, their careers, and some are just adults who want a change, right? They want a shift that will give them more opportunities. What are your students' lives typically like before they join Capital Beauty School, and how do things change for them once they've completed the programs in it?
Yeah. Yeah. So we have students of all ages from 17 to since I've been here for 8 years in their 60s. So literally all stages of life. Students, obviously, fresh out of high school, wanting to start college, but have decided to not go the traditional route, but pursue their dreams of being either an esthetician or a cosmetologist. And then we have the moms who have been focusing on their children for 10 years and are finally like, you know what, it's my turn. I'm going to do something for me that I'm passionate about. And then we've had a professor from a very well-known college here in Nebraska who decided, I'm ready to do something else and I love skin, and she is thriving and very high level managers in the corporate world are now pursuing their dreams of being in the beauty industry. And it can be terrifying for those students, but once they get rolling here, one thing I love about Capital is just the support we have for our students, the culture. So if they're away from their families or they're terrified about future income, like, we're here, we support them along the way, and it's just fun to see how successful successful they become in the industry, opening their own businesses and focusing on the services that they truly love and are passionate about, and just helping people in different ways now. So,
Everything you're saying and thinking that through 100 years, I'm gonna keep on going back to that. Is is it's awesome work. I know you've created a space that clearly goes beyond teaching technical skills, with especially with the amount of experience the school has, right? I know it builds confidence and self-belief. Can you share a story, a specific story of a student that you've encountered in your 8 years there, whose life has truly transformed in their time at Capital?
it's hard to pick, obviously, just one in the time I've been here and time we've been around, but one that's more recent, I would say, is a student by the name of Kylie. She has recently graduated, actually, and, she actually had a 4-year degree, but knew all along that she wanted to pursue cosmetology. That was her passion. And so she came here kind of more as a non-traditional student, kind of scared. Like, she started with a class with the younger students and immediately, obviously, was liked by everybody. But she went through some major medical scares, and she loves sharing her story, and she wants me to share it too. So, she battled with cancer, and just anybody who's been through that or knows somebody who's been through that, it literally takes over your entire life. And there was a time where nobody really knew about it because she's so strong, so resilient, and always stay positive. Got back to school soon as she could after surgeries. I mean, she went through the ringer with that, and she's just truly an inspiration for the owners, the staff, the students, the clients here, because she not only came back shortly after surgery and she graduated, but we have these kind of high honor programs that we allow students to shoot for to get additional funding after graduating. And she
Funding from you guys?
from us, yeah,
From ICE. Wow. Okay.
yeah. So it's basically kind of a matter of, are you getting clients in? Are you rebooking the clients we give you? Are you selling retail? What's your GPA look like? What's your attendance look like? What's your overall attitude look like? And we just set really high standards for those students, and they can hit like different measurements. But Kylie, going through what she went through, she hit the highest bar. She got $10,000 that she's going to be getting from Capital, which pays for almost half the program here. So it's hard to put it into words. And, it's hard to not get emotional when you think about, this gal in her early 20s just going through that and coming back just like nothing happened, you know? So, and it was also a huge blessing to see just the camaraderie come through from our ownership, our students, our staff to support her. And I think we'll all forever be grateful to have had her as a student. Like, very proud that she's got Capital name on her, and definitely.
Kind of foundation, like family. Yeah. I get the vibe that you guys are very much involved in your students' professional life. You guys are very much kind of, your students' names. The student knows the staff. That's what I'm getting from Capitals. I think that it's clear that you guys care both about the passion aspect and the purpose aspect of the beauty industry kind of meshing or merging in your programs. Where does Capital hope their students end up? Like, do you see them opening their own salons, working in a medical spas? I know you guys have this amazing sort of like what happens after you graduate programs that let the students shoot for the stars. But what do you expect them to do with that extra money funding that you guys provide when they do really well? What are the opportunities that a student that graduates with you guys has after they graduate?
Yeah, we've seen students go in almost every direction you can imagine, doing hair and makeup on Broadway in New York City, working in California and Hollywood, and being their own bosses here in Omaha, and or working in a very well-known salon, and going there for a few years, building their clientele, and then opening up a salon and day spa. We have other schools here in Omaha, and they are all owned by Capital grads. So it's fun when students come in here and I ask them, like, what are your goals? Like, you can literally shoot from the stars. You can move to New York City. We have actually a gal who works here now doing all of our purchasing, but she did cosmetology here at Capitol and she got to do New York Fashion Week because they promoted her just from what she was posting on social. And it's just fun to say, like, at the end of the day, when you get your license, you get experience, you can open up your own beauty school. Because we
was so actually young.
3 Capital grads who have 3 other schools here in Omaha. So
Lazy.
it's just fun to see the different directions they go, and that's something we educate even future students on before they start. Like, these are all the different areas you can get into once you get your license. Yes, it's great to be an esthetician. Yes, it's great to be a cosmetologist behind the chair, but do you wanna be an educator for your favorite hairline? Do you wanna focus on salon ownership and travel doing hair on a cruise ship? Like, it's
Yeah.
a
I love that you mentioned that, like what happens after, and you mentioned this little bit you talked about at the end, because I want to pivot onto you. Chelsea, I know that you have a very interesting story because you are a Capital graduate as well yourself, right? And I wanted to know what inspired you to join Capital Beauty School and subsequently lead the admissions.
Yeah, yeah. So I am from South Dakota, which 3 hours from Omaha. And I, in high school was touring a bunch of different schools. Long story short, ended up falling in love with Capital. It was honestly because of the admissions gal. I just felt like home when I was here. So I moved here, gosh, 21 years ago, went through the cosmetology program and have been licensed since and did hair for a while, but realized I love the business side of the industry. So I ended up going and getting a bachelor's in marketing and human resource management. And when a position opened up here, I snagged it because I just remember about they go
I'm going to buy.
because I loved Capital. I love just the family feel, but I also remember that admissions gal and how she impacted my decision to come here. And I just always thought what an awesome job that would be. And since getting that job 8 years later, I know I am in the position I was made to be in. And it's just so rewarding being like seeing these students as they're exploring what do I want to do after high school to now making over $100,000 in the industry. So I
I think it must obviously it seems to be. I can see it in your face and the way you talk about Capital and the way you talk about admissions and the way that you talk about kind of being the first point of touch point with the potential students or the students' future beauty experts that Capital builds. But I also know that running a licensed beauty school program must come with some big learning curves. What were the biggest challenges you faced working in admissions or working at Capital? Is it talking to the students, convincing them? Is it letting parents know that career schools do get their kids an actual profession? What would you say is something that you like constantly have been dealing with while working at Capital?
Yeah, I think, initially it was like feeling like I had to sell the school per se. But, once you get comfortable in a role and you really start believing in what you're selling, quote unquote selling,
100%.
it's you're just talking about something you believe in, and so that, I think, initially was kind of a challenge, like, feeling like I had to say why we were the best, and now I just say, "This is what we're about, and if we're the best fit for you, great. If not, there's other opportunities." And just, yeah, being real with that. I think just the misconception that if you don't go to a 4-year traditional college, you're not going to be successful, especially since COVID. That has gotten a lot better, but, sometimes, yeah. So even high school counselors are still saying, no, don't go to a trade school, do the traditional route. Parents, or even themselves, they're putting that pressure on themselves to do what, 95% of their classmates are doing. But I think more and more people are realizing, since COVID, life is short, you got to do what you want to do and what it's your life. And, thanks to social media, like these students are making within a year, Ada, they're making what it would have taken me 10 years to make. Like, that's insane.
I know. We work every single day at peak enrollment to show people, to actually show people that that is a possibility. Like you say, I mean, it is once you trust what you're selling, because you're not selling the school. You don't have to at this point because you know, you trust that this will change their lives. It's
Mm.
not like, here it is. It's here's the proof. This is what our students are doing, our graduates are doing. It's I can completely understand what you're telling me right now. Okay, what if there was one advice that you could give yourself in hindsight in all those 8 years? What would that advice be? Watch out, admissions directors listening. This one is gonna be useful.
And then this is, I guess, more of kind of a personal answer, but I guess for me, it was just like believe in yourself and follow your gut. Like, I think, I've always kind of struggled with confidence in my other like business type careers. And I started here and I had all these ideas that I wanted to do, and I was kind of afraid to bring them up. But I started noticing like these are challenges we're having, or this is what I'm seeing at college fairs. And the freshmen and the sophomores are super excited. Like, I need to hold on to them. So I started, it's called Trial and Hair program. So these freshmen, these sophomores in high school can come in and get free hands-on training and hang out with our students. There's no cost. Once a month, they come in, they learn about hair, they learn braids, or they come in and they learn on the skin side, they hear from alumni. And I had all those ideas, and it was just a matter of talk to your owners about it, talk to your management about it. And there have been yes people since I've started. And since then, like, I think just seeing what needs to change and make it happen. And when you have support from ownership and from management, it's a game changer. And so we, instead of when I first started trying to fill a class that started in 3 weeks, we're booked up a year and a half for aesthetics and 6, 8 beds for cosmetology.
Amazing. That is so difficult to achieve. Just to let you know, you have to pat yourself in the back for that one, because it is super difficult to achieve. And we've been in the field for about 6 years, and that is rare to see. Of course, it's also rare to see a 100-year-old school. Yeah, but you guys are like ticking all the box.
It's a team effort. I will say I could not do this alone.
Of
So,
course, it always takes more than one person. Now, I'm gonna pivot again, but you know how traditional college isn't always the right fit for everyone. You talked about going to fairs for high school and things like that, and they see their classmates doing it. And sometimes, it's not only about not having the money to go to college. Sometimes is having learning disabilities is because, one thing about trade schools is that they teach in a very unconventional way when you compare it to traditional learning in school. And a lot of people thrive in these environments. A lot of people that usually did not do well in school do great in grade school, not because they're easier. I mean, I've talked to many career school experts that have schools on massage, and kids have to take classes on anatomy and things like that. So it gets complex. I am sure of that, especially when you're doing aesthetics as well. Like, yes, skin also gets pretty complex. So it's not about the content that they're learning, it's about the way that they're learning all of these things. Now, Capital Beauty School offers something different, though, a faster, more affordable way to enter a growing industry, as opposed to going into 4 years of college and learning and all of that. My question is, how do you help potential students and their families value that choice? How do you help them see that? I know you talked about trial and error, which I love a good pun, but
yeah.
are you guys other things that have to do with letting people know that they have this choice?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I really encourage students to think about is what are you passionate about? What is going to drive you to get up every morning and market yourself and really push the work ethic out of you that we all have. It's just finding something that you love doing. Life is short. We spend so many hours of our days working. You got to find something you love. And this goes one of two ways. If you don't love the idea of doing hair, if you don't love the, skin and the idea of helping people, then this isn't the industry for you. And that's okay. But you gotta find something that you love and that you are passionate about, and get the idea of I'm not gonna make any money out of your head because first of all, it's not true. Second of all, find something you love and you will naturally force yourself to push yourself hard, market yourself. Your clients will see how much you love helping them. They'll see how much you love doing what you do. They'll send people your way, and before you know it, you're making six figures. So,
With beauty, that's very possible, especially now how like you have content creators, beauty content creators making so much money.
yeah.
So actually, a little birdie told me that Capital Beauty School also gives back to students and not only students, but the community in very special ways.
Mhm.
What are some of the things you are the most proud to offer? And why are they important to you? What do you guys offer to the community outside of these students?
So, Ronald McDonald House, I think a lot of people are familiar with that. We actually put in several years back a salon at the Ronald McDonald House here in Omaha. So our students and staff will go once or twice a month and do hair for the kiddos who are the patients battling for their lives, as well as their parents who are literally there going through the
Major goosebumps here. Sorry. I'm like, my whole skin is full of goosebumps. So, yes, the kids that are sick, my apologies. Continue.
no, that's like just yeah, feeling special, and their parents are going through an absolute nightmare and just sitting down and getting a little bit of self-care. So we love giving back in that aspect. There's a Project Pink here in Omaha. They help with not students, excuse me, women who are breast cancer survivors. And our students go and they do this big reveal, and the students will do hair and makeup for them. And so there's that, and we help with Omaha Fashion Week. We love to give to future students as well. Our current students and our alumni come back and help me with different events and really kind of set the bar for the future students coming in. Like, this is what we expect with attendance. This is what we expect with dress code, attitude, and here's how you can be successful as a student. And then when you graduate, here's things that I have done to really build my clientele. So I continuously throughout the year offer events to my future students who haven't started yet to come in and really just get prepared before starting school. And it's the core of that is our current students and our alumni. So even when they graduate, they can't get rid of me. So but those are some of many just, examples of giving back to the community, but also our students, and our alumni love coming back too, so
I mean, you're a perfect example of that. I love
yeah.
looking back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you wish more people, especially parents and young adults, understood about beauty schools and programs like yours? Can they be just as powerful, if not more, than the traditional college route in building meaningful and financially stable careers?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and the amount of debt is significantly less going through a trade school. It's like
Yeah.
1 year here is, one or the cost of our program is 1 year at a traditional college, so just saving in debt, but yes, absolutely, it's not an easy road. We have a high standard for our students, but again, if you love what you're doing and you come in here and you show up every day wanting to learn and build those relationships, you love what you're doing, you will want to market yourself and you'll want to find the best school for you or salon for you. And we do help with that process too. And just, yeah, you can make so much money in this industry. But again, you got to love what you're doing.
I think these podcasts are going to give me a heart attack because I get super emotional with the stories that I do. I honestly do. Like, talking to the schools and I have like goosebumps all over my body, especially when there's schools like yours that have a legacy, that have been doing the work, that have been changing lives continuously. People who really love what they do, including you, not only the students that come, students like you that came back and decided to continue working at the school. I think it's really important that schools like Capital Beauty get out there, that people know more about them because it's really life changing to be involved or to be part of the school, whether that is as a student, as a teacher, as an admissions director, as part of the community. I think it would be amazing if you, Chelsea, can share with our listeners, how do people contact the school? How do people find the school? How do they get in touch with you if they are interested, if they have a niece or a daughter or a son or someone that they would like to whom they would like to tell them about the school.
Yeah.
Pieces. Exactly.
Right.
Yes, yes, it is. Can you tell them, please? Because I'm pretty sure they're dying to know.
Yes, yeah. So Hair School Omaha is our website. Capital Beauty School is our name, and it's an OL in capital, not AL. We have obviously Instagram and Facebook, all the socials, and it's Capital Beauty School. You can find us on there. And then if you want to get linked up with me, my contact information is on our website. Otherwise, Chelsea Claus. I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram. So, yeah, but check us out. Homepage of our website. I do offer tours. That's always the first step in our process, but I do offer virtual tours. We have so many students who are not from Omaha, not even from Nebraska, who come to our school. So, we can start with a virtual tour, but at the end of the day, I'd love to show you around in person. And then once you start here, there's connections you can get in touch with as far as meeting other future students to room with. But yeah, website, social, best ways to get a hold of us.
Amazing. Thank you so much for coming on today, Chelsea. I am so happy that you did decide to come on the podcast and share your story, not only your story, but also the story of the school and the amazing job you guys are doing with building the next generation of beauty professionals.
Yes. So thank you so much, Ad. I appreciate you guys starting this podcast. I'm excited to see where it goes. So,
Yeah, me too. Me too. Well, guys, if you guys want to know anything else about Capital Beauty School, it will be on the show notes. Make sure that you also download our enrollment handbook, 10 ways to improve your enrollment if you are a career school. But also remember that podcast episodes come out every week. And next week, you will be receiving a new, fresh episode for you guys to listen to. See you guys next time.